So we all know that Stellar Blade just launched on Steam. It's doing very well. Apparently a solid chunk of the player base is also on straight out of China, which is also very, very interesting to see. Let me see if I have it bookmarked. I don't remember if I did or not. But a solid, like over 50% of the players are out of China, which is crazy. It's crazy. But the player base is growing. It's doing tremendously well on PC, selling many, many copies, hitting, I think yesterday it was at one point over like 180,000 players, which is wild, absolutely wild. But one of the things you can expect from a game like Stellar Blade launching on Steam is, of course, mods. And it doesn't take a genius to figure out what kind of mods will probably be popular with a game like this. So I figured we could look at some of them, but some of these are absolutely unhinged, okay? Like, some of them are just weird. Some of them are quite wholesome and totally fine. Like, that's whatever. Like this one. This one has a cool cybernetic sword that you can add to the game. That's cool. The fact that they already added to this game is genuinely cool. You can add Balatro makeup, which, yes, apparently is the way you pronounce it. I always wanted to say Balatro, but apparently it's Balatro. So that's interesting. That's fine. If you want to play with clown makeup on, that's totally cool. Some of these, just reshade like the edge of blades. Some of them add like fixes for different outfits, which also again is fine and interesting. Some of these are changes to like the actual facial structure of the character. If you want to change it like that, that's fine. This one is called Top Heavy. Bro. What are we doing? But you've not seen the most insane one. You've not seen the most insane one, okay? Where I learned about this insane mod, okay, was from this article, which the headline I had to read like 4 times before I understood it, okay? Gooner Game of the Year Stellar Blades mods are 41% smut, ensuring gamers will never see the light of heaven. Which that's a good one. That's a good title. I'll give you that. But they pointed out a mod. So you can see here, by intense scientific calculus counting, fully 96 of the 234 mods, 41% of that currently exists for Stellar Blade, are marked as adult. And frankly, some of the ones that aren't marked as adult probably should be. How do you feel about Eve feet hands? Good. Would you discuss this with your grandparents over Christmas dinner? Now, you may be wondering, what is feet hands mod? What is this mod? This is, again, the most insane thing I've ever seen in my life. It is a mod that replaces her hands with feet. That's the whole mod. It just replaces her hands with feet. What kind of debauchery is this? What depths of depravity must your mind be trapped within to think Stellar Blade just came out and I'm a modder. I can add a mod to this. What should I add? Of course. Like, I cannot fathom the moment where somebody had this idea. It amazes me. It's amazing. Yeah, that's why we have to wait 1 year for exclusives on PC. Yeah, literally. This is unironically probably why.
Ken donated $9.99 through Super Chat. Gooners will rise above the asses.
That's true. Yep, they always will. And they will find something even more debauched. Just replace her hands. That's fine. That's whatever. I mean, some of these are just like totally fine. Some of these are totally fine, to be very, very clear. HDR fix, a save file fix, improved rush cooldown stuff. That's all totally chill. But some of these guys, people need some help. Some of these, I'm like, what are we doing? There's a lot of these that I have on my screen right now. I could not in 1,000 years show these on YouTube. Okay, this one's funny. This one's funny. This is the reskin we needed. Yakuza Goromi. There you go. That's a good mod. I'll give him that. That's pretty good. But yeah, I do think that there is a weird thing going on with some of these companies where they don't want to release on like Steam because they're worried about mods, and they're worried that like the mods will taint, forgive the pun, the like reputation of their game publicly, I think. So they're worried if they put it out there and people will make these kind of crazy mods, that then people will just assume that this is all like what the game is. And that's just fair, I guess, a little bit. But yeah, the Gooners will find a way. Yeah, Gooners find a way. As you said, Ken, the Gooners will always rise above the asses. They always find a way. And part of it is that it's just kind of funny. Some of these mods are not serious. Like they're not expecting somebody to play through an entire run through like this. But I've paused and wondered. Oh, and this is crazy. This is even with all of the adult content hidden. Okay, so they don't let you view the adult content unless you're logged in. So there's way more utter nonsense that is in here that we can't even see. And I wouldn't even show you. But even then, a lot of these probably should be marked as adult, but still, it's wild. I've pondered doing like a playthrough of a game or like using footage in a video where I just have some insane mod installed and I just don't acknowledge it at all. Like I thought of installing like a big booty Geralt mod and just pretending like I didn't even notice it, and just like I've had it installed forever, that I'm used to it. I thought that could be really funny to troll people, but then I also thought that maybe people would then like think that it was not a joke, and I was like, it's probably not worth doing. What modding site was that? Of course, Nexus. Of course, you can find all sorts of stuff on Nexus. Yeah.